Sawadee Krap, I'm JP Mestanza. Today is Friday, September 24th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. A local resident of Mai Khao Beach believes he's about to cash in after discovering a lump of what he believes is sperm whale ambergris, or whale poop, that may be worth as much as 30 million baht. 66-year-old Yongyut Lim Suk Chu says he found the lump washed ashore while on his morning jog along Mai Khao Beach just in front of one of the resorts. He thought it looked similar to ambergris, which he had seen on TV, and he took it home to inspect. Ambergris is rare to find and is used in medicines, potions, some perfumes, and even as a spice. Back in 2016, a fisherman in Oman hit the jackpot when he found an ambergris that weighed about 80 kilos that was worth 30 million US dollars. The lump that Yongyut Mai Khao found weighed 19.5 kilos and could be worth up to 1.5 million baht per kilo, about 30 million baht total. Expert marine biologists from the Phuket Marine Biological Center have now been notified. They are now in possession of the possibly very valuable lump and are examining it to confirm whether or not it is indeed ambergris. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Foreigners staying in Phuket on a 60-day COVID visa can now apply through to November 26 to extend their stay in Thailand, according to Phuket Immigration. The so-called COVID visa was launched amid the pandemic last year, so foreigners stuck in the country can stay in the country until they choose to go home or more options to fly home become available. The visa allows foreigners to stay for 60 days at a time, but still forces foreigners to renew this visa every 2 months at a cost of 1,900 baht. This week, the Phuket Immigration Office, they announced that those on the COVID visa and who wish to stay can submit an application until November 26, granted for 60 more days. In addition, COVID visas are dated from the date the current visa is set to expire, not the date that the foreigner applies for the extension, which is important because immigration has repeatedly urged foreigners to not leave it to the last minute in an effort to avoid crowds and long queues at immigration offices island-wide. At last report, Phuket Immigration noted that the extension of COVID visas will continue for as long as the COVID-19 pandemic is still happening and has not been resolved. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Phuket recorded 228 cases on Thursday with no new Phuket Sandbox tourist infections. 3 new deaths were also recorded, pushing this month's death toll on the island to 44. 4,080 people are now receiving medical care or supervision on the island. During the month of September, Phuket recorded just over 5,400 total COVID cases, with the island also seeing 235 cases per day on average. These numbers include infections of tourists in the Sandbox scheme. Meanwhile, Thailand recorded just under 12,700 cases today, along with 132 more COVID deaths nationwide. Thailand has recorded 1.53 million COVID cases since the pandemic began last year. The majority of these cases have only been recorded since April of this year, 98% of the total, about 1.50 million cases in just the last 5 to 6 months. Phuket Extra will be right back after this. Transform your pool within a week. Call us today. Quality guaranteed since 2012. Call M&M Painting today. Welcome back to Phuket Extra. Select groups of foreign arrivals to Thailand could have their quarantine period shortened from 14 days to 7 or 10 days if a proposal by the National Communicable Disease Committee is approved and vaccinated arrivals will get the shorter quarantine. The measure, which is not part of the Sandbox scheme, would create 3 separate groups of foreign arrivals to Thailand. The first are tourists who would quarantine for 7 days and can prove that they are fully vaccinated and have undergone an RT-PCR test before traveling to Thailand. This group would also need to take COVID tests on the first and last day of quarantine. The second group is for 10-day quarantine, and this is only open to people who travel to Thailand by air. These are tourists who do not have a vaccine certificate, and they must undergo an RT-PCR test on the first and then on the last day of quarantine. The third group is for 14-day quarantine. These tourists travel by land and who also do not have a vaccine certificate. They must undergo RT-PCR tests on the first day and after either the 12th or the 13th day. These measures would be applied to all visitors from all countries. Again, this is still a proposal and it's currently up to the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration in Bangkok for approval. It's all meant to stimulate the economy and get tourists back to visiting Thailand. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The rehab facility inside a Kanchanaburi temple that was accused of extortion, human rights abuses, and torture, they've now been shut down by the Department of Medical Services. The rehab center at Wat Purat Bambrung has made headlines this week after a popular shaman and a lawyer brought reporters and soldiers there on Monday to expose the conditions in which patients were living, described as decrepit facilities with over 200 men crowded in a single room with only 2 bathrooms, and allegations of beatings, extortion of relatives, starvation, and torture. In fact, just minutes before the raids on Monday, the abbot of the temple died. Soldiers, meanwhile, took many of the patients to local hospitals on Monday. Both the shaman, known as Mopla, and the lawyer alleged that a criminal network involving police and government officials were running the now shut down rehab center. For more, visit the link in the description. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Phuket Extra, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. We hope you have a really great weekend out there. We'll see you back on Monday. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
Phuket's rapid modernization has made it one of the world's premier holiday destinations. Investors can still buy quality condominiums for as low as $75,000 and luxury properties can go all the way up to 20 million. Condominiums in Phuket are a safe, secure bricks and mortar investment offering foreigners freehold ownership. Call or email Thai Residential, Phuket's #1 trusted real estate advisor, to find your perfect Phuket property.